everybody, welcome back to Nature Talks. It's me, Viren. I'm your host for this show, and today we're going to talk about nature. So welcome back to the show, or welcome to the show. Today is Good Friday. It's the 7th of April, 2023, and it's 1:45 in the afternoon right now. So, yeah, we have a lot of updates to share on this podcast. First and foremost, we have this huge surge in all our listeners. So suddenly we got a lot of listeners, and on our stats, earlier it was like 96% from India, maybe 1% from US, 1% Canada, 1% UAE, and less than 1% from UK. But now things have changed over the last couple of days. I have managed to put this podcast up on other platforms as well. And because of that, now suddenly we've got a huge surge in the stats. There's a huge spike. And that's a good sight to see that suddenly so many people were interested to listen to our podcast. So now we have 30% followers in the US. From 1% to 30%. That's a huge jump. Even in Canada, from 1% it's gone to 2%. We're using all the platforms like Anchor.fm. We're using Spotify. We have the Google Podcast, Amazon Music. We're on Castbox, Podhcast, Radio Public, Simplecast, Audible, JioSaavn, and Apple Podcast. So that's a lot of different platforms we're on now, and I think that's helping us a lot to reach out to more people. So if we're missing out on some names, you can let us know, and then I can put this podcast on even more platforms so we can get the message out to even more people, because it's important to do this so that all our efforts are not useless. If more people get to hear us, it'll have an impact on their lives. And we are busy planting seeds. We're a nature podcast. We're planting seeds, thought seeds in people's minds. So when we put these thoughts into your minds, then you will automatically start thinking about nature more, and you'll also have the answers how to protect the environment around you. So all the experience that we're learning in the field, we want to share it with everybody so that you don't make the same mistakes that we did. And instead of starting from scratch, you can start from where we are right now and take this movement much forward. As we said in the last podcast, we're kind of changing the name from podcast to Podhcast. So pods means plant, and since we are a Nature Talks podcast, so it goes with the theme. What do you think about that? Do you like the name Podhcast? How many plants have you planted in your life? We are going to be planting some trees soon, but in the monsoon, not right now. Many people are approaching us. They want to plant trees for Earth Day, but this is the wrong time to plant trees because it's too hot, and if you plant something in the ground, it's not going to last very long. It's going to need more maintenance. Plus, there's a great chance of it not doing well, not surviving, because the water evaporates faster in the summers. And if you have a controlled environment, it's different, but if you're planting it outdoors, leaving it to nature, then it's gonna dry and die. So it's better to do all this plantation in the monsoon time. There are other things that you can do for Earth Day during this time. You can it's so hot right now, so you can keep water outside for the animals, for the birds. You can keep food for them. You can do different campaigns, like the thing that's affecting your environment the most right now. What is that situation? Wherever you are listening to us from, there must be something happening with the environment there, right? There's always some good news and some bad news. So whatever bad news there is, together we can solve all these situations. Because one mind can't have all the answers, and the more minds you get on board, the better answers you're going to find. It's just a matter of different perspectives. When you get different people's experience on the table, then you're able to see things from a point of view which you never thought possible. So don't underestimate the power of group brainstorming. That's whatever you're facing in your area, people around will be able to help you out. Plus, like, we are facing certain problems here in Delhi, the air pollution issue, 5 trees getting cut every hour, all the protected wildlife species which are not being protected. Okay, and even all the concretizing of trees. These are all the different things that we are facing here in Delhi. So with more awareness, with more people talking about this, with more of you listeners spreading the news, putting it up online on your Twitter or Instagram or anything, this is going to help us a lot, and it will help the trees, it will help the environment, and in the process it's going to help all of us if we have a better environment. So we're going to start a new YouTube channel for the podcast. The previous one, we put a clip on the New Delhi Nature Society YouTube channel, and over there we have kind of a following, but it's not that great because we are not very active on the YouTube platform. But so we've been using that platform since, I guess, around 10 years, and we've been posting different things over there, but there have been long gaps, so the algorithm has sort of decided that our videos are not so important. That's why we are starting a new YouTube channel where we'll put all the podcasts, and since it's going to be more regular, the algorithm will be stronger, and then more people will get to see it and watch it and share it around. These algorithms have taken over our lives, and it's because of the algorithms that all your feed on your Twitter and Facebook is also curated. Even Instagram is curated by algorithms. And now we have left our human civilization to artificial intelligence to choose what is best for us. That's without even taking any votes, all this is happening. And technology has always got hacked in the past. Maybe it can get hacked in the future. There are, if you've seen this movie Terminator, so this is kind of what it talks about, where the robots they become smarter than the humans, and then they try to eliminate the human race so that they can, in order to protect the future of humanity for the interest of the company. It's a good movie. It's got several parts to it. Terminator, if you've not seen it yet, the tagline over there is "I'll be back" from Arnold Schwarzenegger. He also says "Hasta la vista, baby," and that was in the part 1 of that movie. So in that movie it's all about Judgment Day, when the day of the robots, when they decide to wage war against humanity. And are we actually leading up there now with all the artificial intelligence we are putting into our computer systems? Everything which has a microchip in it is getting some AI now. There's so many websites which are getting AI. There are robots also at machinery which they're integrating AI into it so that the AI can decide what is best. Okay, that's a scary thought. So let's see what our audience has to say about that. How do you feel about your resources being decided by artificial intelligence? There's pros and cons for everything. It may make human life easier in some ways, and right now the resources of the planet are controlled by a few people, and those people are making profits off of the resources which are meant for the entire civilization of the planet, right? The sky belongs to everyone, the sun belongs to everyone. Whoever's born on this planet should have equal rights to everything on the planet, right? But that's not how things are. Right now it's just a few families which own most of the coal or petrol or oil industry. And these are all resources of the planet. They're all fossilized dinosaur goo. It's when the dinosaurs got extinct long ago. They got pressed under the under the ground, and that's turned into oil, which we use for petroleum and to make all our plastic objects. Speaking of plastic, we had an event yesterday at KMC College, which is Kirori College in Delhi University. It was a fest called La Naturaleza. Yeah. So it was a festival over there in the college. We had a stall over there. We put our stuff on the stall. We were doing face painting also for people. We had a mystery box. There were some games. And inside in the seminar hall, I was also giving a talk about plastic pollution. Actually, the theme was Rethink Plastic. So I spoke about my journey with environment conservation. And then we spoke about the situation of the plastic pollution here in Delhi and all the projects we are doing which are related to plastic. So the students were quite engaged with that. They were quite interested and they were asking us questions. So we had a good Q&A round at the end of that talk. Right now some of you cannot see the video, but you can hear the audio. So what we did was we found this video on YouTube about the plastic bottle cutters. So we tried to make one and it was quite successful. We made several of these plastic bottle cutters. And yeah, it's so simple. You just put the plastic bottle in there, and as you pull on the thread, the entire plastic bottle turns into a long ribbon. And you can use this for tying anything. We used this a couple of years ago. We used it to grow vegetables. We were using it for trellising. So all the creepers were going on top of this plastic, and we got a lot of vegetables growing on this. If we don't do this, if we don't, rethink about plastic, it's just going to damage us more. Now, there's some important things which we need plastic for, like disposable injections maybe. Those are made of plastic and we have to dispose of that. You don't want to reuse someone else's injections, right? It's unhealthy, unhygienic and stuff. But there are other things which are unnecessary plastics. Like we have some people selling bananas and watermelons and oranges in plastic bags. But nature has already made a layer for those fruit. The watermelon has a thick layer outside. The orange have orange peels. Bananas have banana peels. So we don't need a plastic bag to carry that banana. Even a stationery shop, if you just go there to buy one pencil, they will give you that pencil in a plastic bag. So when you start refusing plastic bags to these shops, then the shopkeepers get quite amazed. They're quite shocked because usually customers don't want to take the objects unless it's in a plastic bag. Like if someone's buying something, they ask the shopkeeper, please give me a plastic bag to take it. But here we're doing the opposite. We're telling the shopkeepers, we don't want your plastic bags. We have our own cloth bags. In most cases, we don't even need any bags. You can just put the items directly in your pockets or in your bags. So you have to think about this because all this plastic pollution, it goes around in a circle. And then where does the circle end? Right where it starts, which is you. Just by buying these objects from the markets, you are putting it into circulation. And then once it reaches the landfill, it's there because of you, first of all. But if it reaches there, then it's going to probably get burnt in the waste to energy plants. And after getting burned, it's going into the air and getting stored inside your lungs. Why are these plastic bottles getting burnt and stored in your lungs? Because you decided to buy these plastic bottles and you decided not to do anything with it. You decided to throw it in the bin or throw it in the garbage, and it reached the landfill because that's how the system is right now. So yeah, we need to think about where our plastic is going. Do we really need all this plastic stuff? And where all can you stop the circulation of plastic? It's with your own choices. So start making the better choices now, and you'll see it will start having a positive effect around you. Yeah, the KMC event was pretty good. We got a great feedback from the kids. The students filled up postcards also, writing their messages to the forest department that we should save trees. Saving trees is important. There are 5 trees getting cut down every hour in Delhi with permission. So imagine how many more trees are getting cut down without permission. That's why it's important for more people to start writing letters or even posting on Twitter or tagging the authorities, letting them know that it's important to save trees, because at the moment they feel like only a small minority of people out of millions of people, only maybe 20 or 50 people care about the trees. But imagine if hundreds or thousands of you start writing to these officials, then they will take it more seriously and probably do the right thing. They're also in a tough spot, because if they do the right thing, if they try to save the trees, then they could lose their job. We've seen this in cases before. But if they do get the trees cut, then they manage to keep their job. They don't get transferred. So some people have been transferred before, and yeah, it's a question about your moral values, I guess. Would you rather keep your job and destroy the environment, or would you rather protect the environment and have a tougher job? So these are questions which you have to ask yourself in the end, and that will have an impact on everybody else. So it's the decisions of a few people right now which are affecting us, which are causing Delhi to be the world's most polluted capital. And we have the power to change it, just like we saw in the lockdown. There were no cars moving around, there was no factories operating, and in that time the environment improved so much, the air quality improved, there was clear skies. We saw blue skies that time in Delhi, which was a very rare thing to see nowadays. We got to see stars also at night, which was quite rare. So why is that happening? It's because we decided to switch off all these things and our dependency on these things. A lot of people managed to survive the lockdown by working from home without traveling to their offices. So now we know that's possible, and after the lockdown is finished, people have gone back to that old system where they focus on so much traveling, which is causing all the air pollution. So there are some things which have solutions. Some problems, when you try to solve it, you come up with new problems. So yeah, we have to work on all of this together. If you just leave it for a few people to make their decisions, then maybe they're not getting the full picture. And with more people giving their opinions into that, then you have a broader picture about this, so you can make better decisions. The last thing I wanted to just quickly go over for today's episode was, how do you describe a garden? What kind of a garden do you have? Do you have a garden which has all the grass cut nicely, all the maybe bushes or shrubs are cut in perfect straight lines? Or do you call a garden a place where you have a big variety of things growing, like food, vegetables, herbs, fruit, medicine plants? So yeah, I've seen this picture online, so that's why I'm talking about it like this. You'll see it on our Twitter page also. We posted it over there. There's a difference between a garden and a garden which is very productive, and a garden which is just a patch of grass. So there's a big difference between a patch of grass and a actual proper garden with flowers and everything. You have to have that whole ecosystem so that all the insects have food. The birds come and eat the insects. The entire food cycle starts from just growing a garden. And if you just have a patch of grass, you have to keep watering it to keep it green. As it grows longer, you have to come and cut the grass, and then you need to water it again to grow it more. Again, you need to cut it. So you get stuck in that cycle. And most of the parks here in the city, this is what's happening. They're just people are constantly employed to water the grass, cut the grass, water the grass, cut the grass. What are the grass? Make it grow, cut it, make it short. Make it grow, make it short, make it grow, make it short. This is the cycle which they're stuck in, and this is what is employing so many people right now. But if that same space was used for better plants, like a better choice of plants, maybe you could have shade-loving plants, you could have fruit trees or even shade trees. There are different types of grasses also, different color grasses. So there's a big variety out there. The more you learn, the better choices that you can make. Knowledge is power, right? So I think that's about it for today's podcast. We're cutting it short today, and we're going to just see how this goes. We're going to upload it on our new YouTube channel, Nature Talks Podcast. Search for that. We'll put the link also in the description so you can find it over there. And yeah, that's about it. So thank you all for listening to me for today, and we'll catch you again for another episode of Nature Talks. Thank you. Bye.